Alright guys, this is going to be Jose de Castro's daily update from jail. He was moved from minimum security to medium security, and he feels unsafe. Like most criminals in jail, prison, he thinks he's innocent, and he thinks he doesn't belong where he's at, because these people aren't like him. It's called taking, accountability for your actions. You gotta deal with it. I believe he's about halfway through his sentence, which, if between you and me, I hope he gets just re-upped for 180 days with his other charge that, in my opinion, is worse than the first one. But that's just wishful thinking. It's 8 minutes long. We're not watching 8 minutes of Chili just blah, 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 blah about nonsense, so we're probably going to watch about half of it. Enjoy.
Hello world, my name is Chili de Castro. Today is May 26th, 2024. I'm calling you from the Clark County Detention Center dungeon in Las Vegas, Nevada. I've been wrongfully incarcerated by Judge Ann Zimmerman, who has not sentenced anybody to jail in 5 years for obstruction. And in the past 4 cases that went to trial, each one of those people got anger management or impulse training management, and then the misdemeanor fell off their record. I have to say these things because I've just been moved from a minimum security block to a medium security block. In the previous block, it was full of people who were homeless and people who were bums.
He was with homeless people and bums, lives in his car, running from warrants. Yeah, that's accurate. He belonged there. But you'll learn later in the video, they closed that wing down, so gotta put him somewhere. You can't just say, oh, we closed the minimum security part. I guess you're free to go. That's not how it's gonna happen. Also, he's trying to play victim. In the first 5 seconds of the video, he's trying to play victim. Oh, I don't know why I'm here. I'm innocent, blah, blah, blah. The last 4 cases got this. But he's not telling you what he did to cause this. He's just trying to, place accountability anywhere but himself.
And this block is not that. It's full of people who are gangbangers, who have tattoos on their faces, and this room is segregated by race. And so it's definitely a big switch. And I just have to remind you that if I'm assaulted in here, or if anything bad happens to me in here, the responsibility falls squarely on the trial judge who put a man in jail, who has no criminal record and has no history of violence. I have no legitimate criminal record at all whatsoever.
So if you notice, Chili used very, very, very specific wording to appeal to his audience. First, he says he has no criminal record. Then right there at the end, before I clipped it, he says he has no legitimate criminal record. Which to me means anything in his past, criminal related, he can just say, oh, they were out to get me, it's a conspiracy. It's not legitimate. I believe he's got several restraining orders, protection orders against him in the past. Yeah, those are legitimate. I know he's running from at least one warrant from Ironton, Ohio. Yeah, those are legitimate. This, if he ever gets out of jail, he's going to say, yeah, that wasn't legitimate. Just because you claim they're not legitimate doesn't make it true.
And I should not have been put in jail. This is definitely a different kind of room that I'm in right now. This is definitely different. And needless to say, I'm aware, consciously aware of my surroundings at all times, even as I leave this message here for you. I look to my left, I look to my right, and make sure that my back is safe. It's just a place where if you're not a criminal, you just don't belong in a room like this. There are people in here who have felonious assault and worse on their paperwork here, and there are people here who are, this is all 3 levels of people in here. People who have misdemeanors, people who have gross misdemeanors, and people who have aggravated felonies on their record are in this room. And so it's not a joke. It's not fun. I guess you could say shit just got real. And that's the room that I'm in. I'm going to write a letter into the guards and let them know that I think I've been classified in the wrong room. But I don't know. There's not much I can do because they shut down the minimum dorm, and they moved a large group of people to different dorms. There was about 40 of us left in that room, and then they started to break us up into groups of 10 to bring us to other dorms when I got brought down here. The whole scenery has changed now, and it's definitely a difficult, more rough terrain. So, if anything happens to me, this definitely falls back to the biased and unprincipled judge who put me in this dungeon. She should not have put me in this dungeon. I don't belong in jail. I'm not a criminal by any means. So I just have to make it through the next 6 weeks, or approximately 45, 46 days away from the July 10th appeal. A bill has to be put through the legislature that has to do with principles in sentencing. Judges should have to be principled in sentencing. In other words, the only way you can schedule someone to go to jail, especially without a jury, is based on the last 10 holdings in that particular courtroom. And by the way, this was a Seventh Amendment violation. If there is a controversy for more than $20, then you have a right to have a jury trial. Or putting me in jail for more than even a day is more than $20 of a controversy. I should have received a jury trial.
Each case is different. For Vegas, let's use a great example. If the last 10 cases of assault or domestic, the guys came in, were quiet, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it, give me this, please, it'll never happen again, and they get a few days in jail and anger management, but then one of those 10 decide to jump their table, jump the bench, and start beating the judge. Yes, obviously he's going to get a different result from those other 9. Chili didn't jump the table, didn't beat the judge, but if you cause a giant scene because you think you're something special, and those other 9 people in that same situation didn't, obviously you might get a different outcome. He said, I deserve a jury trial, I deserve a jury trial. And sorry for this, is going to be long-winded, but juries don't like these motherfuckers. Flat out, they don't like these motherfuckers. I point to a North Carolina, South Carolina auditor, I don't remember which one, all the time in my live stream. He went to audit like a pizza shop. They didn't like it. He went over to the hardware store, grabbed a can of black paint, sprayed the dude's camera. Well, when it went to court, the jury's like, not guilty, free to go. And he stormed off, oh, it's bullshit, blah, blah, blah. And then they threatened to beat his ass in the parking lot, and in response, the cop says, yeah, you should probably get out of here and not come back. Juries don't like these guys. So him saying, oh, I want a jury trial, it probably would have been exactly the same.
I got one biased, unprincipled judge who was married to a cop who sentenced me to a dungeon. It's completely and utterly wrong. A bill has to be put through the legislature that says that there has to be principles in sentencing. And if there's going to be a judge who's going to be the judge, jury, and executioner, then there has to be jury jail panels to determine if people should go to jail when there's only a judge determining their cases. And she's not even a judge, she's a magistrate. She's an elected magistrate. So, once again, look at what's happened. Look at what's going on right now. I'm in this horrifically horrible, dangerous cell now. And the reason why I'm here is because you could have an unprincipled and biased judge put me in this jail. It's completely and utterly wrong. And she deserves every single petition, every single letter she sent, telling her and redress her and tell her that this is wrong. She's an elected official of government. You have every right to petition her, and don't let anybody tell you different.
I believe a few lawyers have come out that aren't necessarily debunkers, but just float, and said, yeah, you probably shouldn't do that to a sitting judge because that'll bring about new charges that you'll be in jail for even longer. Which, making videos like this, I don't think Chili's making exactly the same amount of money he was when he was driving around in his van saying trifle, trifle. So I don't think Chili should do this, but he doesn't care. He wants his simps to call flood, mail flood, and all those things because Chili doesn't care what happens to them. He wants to try to intimidate the judge or magistrate.
And then the next case coming up on July 10th, the appeal process for July 10th. Listen, the thing is about government is that we only have a few really inalienable rights that were given to us in 1791, December 15th, with the ratification of the Bill of Rights. All you have are your rights. That's it. The only illusion of freedom that we are given is the illusion that we are allowed to have the right to redress government through assembly, through petition, through press, and through speech. Those are the rights that we have. Now, if they're real, then they're not an illusion and you can use them. And if they're fake, then I'm willing to take the consequences of them being fake. But you have every right to petition the government, and you should. Now, Lombardo, the current governor of Nevada, an ex-cop, you can petition him all you want, but he's not going to let me go. And even if he did file to have me pardoned for a misdemeanor crime, it would take months and months for that pardon to go through. So that's just the legalities of what I'm looking at right here. You know, it's just it's a little taxing, it's a little trying when I've been in here for months and months now. It's completely wrong. It's just wrong. There's just no other way to see it. And it should make you downright mad. Because listen, if it can happen to me, it can happen to you.
He says you have the right to, you know, redress your government. In the First Amendment, it reads you have the right to petition the government for redress of grievances. So, shocker, Chili's wrong again. And then he says, oh, if it can happen to me, it can happen to you. No, I make it a point to not go out, find police, and then break the law in front of them and record the entire thing. I kind of think that's a bad idea, especially being a family man. I try not to get arrested, and so far for 33 years, it's worked out pretty well for me. So yeah, if it can happen to me, it can happen to you. No, that's not the case, but yeah. That's the end of the video. The rest of it is him shilling nonsense, and I'm not about that life. Everybody have a good rest of your day. Peace.